I know you guys are all. I know.
Is this a bonus lip?
Sure. Throw me a fucking bonus. I know you're not a Biden voter.
No.
We support our country though, right? Well, we say that.
I support the United States of America, yes.
And you support that. I hope our president does a good job.
Should
for
I
our
scoot over here so I'm perpendicular?
Bernsey, we know where you stand. Anyways.
Where do I stand?
I don't know where you stand, honestly. I just like teasing you about it.
On the levee of the teeter-totter?
I stand in the middle.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the levee of the teeter-totter.
But it's not a teeter-totter. I'm very passionate about certain things and not about others.
Which would be kind of a teeter-totter. When you move just a little to the right, this one goes up.
I would say my
move
core
over to the left,
my core is
this
more
one
right.
goes up.
My core is more right.
I appreciate that.
So again, I guess
Just who I am.
not that you're not a supporter of Biden.
No.
I support his bike riding skills.
Or his
My point is if this, and you may have seen this
His
again,
petting of humans.
you have is that what you call it? Is petting of
It
humans?
seems like it to me that
Or
he just
sniffing.
pets humans.
And he sniffs their hair.
If you were standing there and witnessed some of the petting of humans that you've seen video of,
I'd smack his hand.
that's all you would do? What would you do?
I don't know. I'd call him out.
Remember, this is
right
talking
there.
about the president of the United States, so be careful. They're listening.
Always.
They're listening.
I hope if you are, subscribe.
Yeah.
Throw us a bone.
The point is, petting of humans is pretty funny. That's the name of this episode. Bonus lips. The
Bonus
petting
lips,
of humans.
Petting of humans.
If this were our president, I guess is
We were just sent this video from an anonymous source. The video appears to show Joe Biden talking about booty and ice cream cones. Take a look.
I was swiping on Tinder the other day and saw a chick with the biggest fucking booty I've ever seen. God damn, that shit was huge. I could barely believe my eyes, man. I had to cool myself off with a chocolate chip ice cream cone from Ben & Jerry's. Shit was actually fire. No pun intended.
Yeah, he didn't.
My buddy
he
Kevin
didn't say
from the
any of
Secret
that.
Service then brought me to the White House to sign some more shit. It was probably more money for Zelensky in Ukraine, but I didn't really give a fuck. Remember to keep it real and vote for me in 2024.
This is quite surprising.
I mean, now that Joe Biden, if that's the approach he takes if he is running again, do you think that sells?
Yes, I think
Other
that
than-
sells
That'll
more.
sell in today's America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not coherent enough to do that.
No.
That whoever did that was a young man.
Well, he didn't pause and stutter
Yeah.
over his words, so
And
that's
just so-
definitely not
Just
him.
so we're clear, and I know
It's a voiceover.
I know.
and
Okay,
it's pretty good.
The people that listen to this obviously know that that wasn't really Joe Biden. But
it was a good impression.
yeah.
I thought it was. I like that stuff.
Yeah, that's funny.
If you were on TikTok, you'd see more of that stuff.
TikTok is going away. It's getting scarier.
There's
Scarier, huh?
there's been a lot of weird shit going on.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
And
Let's talk about weird shit today.
Balloons.
balloons,
Are they aliens?
trains derailing.
Red Chinese balloons, right? Are they red?
The inner, maybe. I think the outside's white. They're disguising themselves.
They said yesterday there was
Okay.
no, they weren't alien. It's not alien related. It's not.
Would they tell us if it was, though?
Why not? Just fucking tell
But
us.
they-
So now the Chinese control the aliens.
No, I think
Is that what you're saying?
no, two
th-
separate things. I
didn't-
think
Oh,
if it
aliens
is-
and Chinese.
I didn't.
yeah,
I didn't.
they can
I'm
coexist.
back.
I didn't watch the news conference. It was late when I saw it last night, but they came out and said that the stuff that's shot down, because it seemed like every day this week something's gotten shot down or a plane's derailed or a train's derailed.
Hazardous materials are
Yeah.
spilling all over the place, is what you're saying, right?
Is it a wag the dog thing
So
for one of or the other? I think the chemical spills a pretty serious issue.
That's a very serious issue.
and it's not really. I did not see it. I first heard about it. I think you were the one who even said it.
Do you think it was a like inside job, a government job? What was weird about it aside from a train derailing and it had hazardous materials?
When do trains derail and why?
I don't know how often,
but maybe they don't. Maybe it happens a lot, and they
it's-
don't say anything.
No, when they have to redirect trains, it's just like any other traffic. There's a controller, obviously, that's controlling traffic just like in the air. And if one train is heading, head on with another train, they'll switch the track. We've seen it in movies, and that shit's real. So I don't know if they did that on purpose. Like,
you're asking if the train derailing was done deliberate.
Correct.
I
don't know if they did that on purpose, but typically it's controlled, is what I'm saying. Like most trains, they don't get out of control. Typically. Do they?
Unless you have. Like
when have we seen
There's been recent derailments in Middle America lately, like the last couple years.
Last 10 years, yeah, there's been a few.
Often. Just like plane crashes, you don't hear about those often. But when you do,
could it be a defect? Could it be something that happened on,
the train track, like
the track
not
itself.
the train itself?
the infrastructure of our
although
country.
it did happen in like a fairly remote.
Is that where you're going? You think
the infrastructure of our country is terrible?
I can tell you the Highway 99 in California.
Yeah, we've talked about this several times on Watch Your Lips.
I think that could be part of the problem.
Speaking of that, Burns, where do they follow us though?
On Instagram and Twitter at @watcher_lips, on TikTok at @watcherlips, and you can watch on YouTube
if you're listening.
And hit the subscribe.
That little bell. Give you the notifications you need.
Very well.
That's probably the best yet.
Come on, guys. Thank you.
It is a bonus Lips edition.
Have a good episode.
Yeah, it is a bonus. We don't have to talk about anything specific.
No, but
they're saying,
not to interrupt you. I just thought that was a good. You actually shocked me with how well you did that.
Have you seen the movie Wag the Dog? It was in the 90s, I think it was.
I have not.
With Dustin Hoffman, Robert De Niro's in it. It's basically where like they make up a war to cover up something else that's going on, just kind of misdirection, but they called it Wag the Dog. And that's why I say, like, was the alien stuff something to take your eyes off of the chemical spill of the train? Because then they tell the next day a diesel truck tipped over somewhere else.
Well, that happens.
But with hazardous material or stuff that is bad for the. There was a shelter in place after that truck fell over. But being in that industry, how often does that stuff happen?
In the transportation industry, you hope not often, but
you hear about it when it does, right?
When you look at the entire industry itself, it happens very often.
But I'm saying you hear about it.
Yes.
Maybe not. It's not national news, but you being in the industry, you hear about when things like that go down.
Sure.
I guess if trains were derailing that often, we'd know about it, right?
Especially if they're filled with hazardous material.
And then you see like how the pictures and videos of the smoke it looks apocalyptic. It looks scary.
When it was a tiny little town too, right?
And then to see like the animals dying and like.
But see, I was reading about that today, and they've said that it's only aquatic animals that have seen an increase in deaths, not like cattle or anything like that.
From the air.
Just in general, like the amount of deaths, animal deaths related to this has not gone up on land.
Where did you read that? What is your source?
It was on the internet, Jake. And,
I'm just asking.
And they listed all the sources they used to fact check it.
I was just.
I'll find it. You want?
I'm just.
No,
I'm not bibliography on this.
No, I'm just asking.
I'm not joking because it was
trying
like
to be a dickhead.
No.
It was a fact check thing. And
that would be an interesting thing to look at. Why the aquatics are being attacked and not the land animals.
Well, maybe it's not airborne, but if it's in the water, they're going to die. They're going to breathe it in or suck it in, however they do it.
Breathe it in. I'd suck it in. I'm surprised that's where you left it.
Hey.
Let's leave it there.
It's too early.
I mean, and so then I saw the thing where they're talking about these flying objects getting shot down also are not
All of this is
extra-
bullshit, dude. It's not. The conspiracy theory is not real.
so you don't believe aliens are that's a real thing.
No,
You
no.
don't
We've been over this too.
Yeah.
Like when I see one, when I encounter one, I will believe it. But that's just me. Like the whole you have to see it to believe it thing, right? That's true with me.
Not everywhere.
Like if there's an alien sitting here and he had a microphone and he was talking with us, then I would believe in aliens. But until that day comes,
What if we are? What if I am an alien? You
well,
don't know?
according to Jake, we may be, right? I mean, we're living
Did I
in
say that? Oh, a matrix, like I don't know what they call it. People say like an alternate universe.
Yeah.
You've not heard people say this.
Yeah, and again, bullshit.
But I'm so when, and I asked this question on the way home today, talking to both of you that we never got an answer to. Then at what point in time recently did the world just go make a left and just go off the rails itself? Because the world seems to be 1,000 times different than it was a decade ago. Agreed?
Technology, internet,
Absolutely.
access to everything,
Phones, video
desensitizing
games,
ourselves, desensitizing
YouTubes.
kids to killings, to everything through these videos, through the clips, through all of that. I think that's going to be the degradation of our society. I'm done.
Well, kids don't go out and play like they used to, right?
How many kids make eye contact when they're talking to you nowadays? Not very many because they're on their phone. I think that it's just dumbing us down and creating a monster of a bunch of zombies, essentially, that don't really interact.
Oh, this is
No, not like zombies like that, but like there's no real interaction. Everything is the internet. So, oh, this guy said this to me. Oh, they physically were in front of you and talking to you. No, they texted it, which allows people to get a lot more brave, which allows people to treat each other poorly, which in turn desensitizes you when you go out in the world.
You both have.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
You both have kids that are teenagers. You've got kids that are out of high school.
That are forced to go outside, yeah.
But I'm saying like you've dealt with the phones thing. You deal with what are they watching. You got my kids are too little for that. I mean, I monitor what they watch on their tablets when they, but it's not to that yet. What is the one thing that you notice the most because of it? The lack of interaction with you as parents, or how they interact with other people?
Other people.
For me, it's just in general.
Like you
the
see them
attitude shift.
emulate some of the things or talk how they hear other people talk through TikTok, through Instagram or whatever. Like
Yes.
they behave those certain ways as what they see.
Well, more of a sense of entitlement. And I just smack that shit right down. Like just the way, okay, let's take YouTube for example. There's some families on there that kids like to follow or whatever. I mean, that's a big thing, and some of them are just not good people, the way that they're acting.
What do you mean?
Just different things that they do, the way they talk to their
Disrespectful.
parents, the way they talk to people from the outside that, family members come over and the way they interact with them. It's like the interaction is not positive. It's negative. So if the kid, let's say our kids are watching that, in turn, their behavior becomes negative. And I mean, if you allow that to happen, like in our case, like we don't allow it.
Yeah, you communicate, you know what's going on, and you nip it in the bud right there.
Or you have a very small window where you can do this.
Yeah.
Like how often you can use your phones, like teenagers. You allow them to use their phone all the time, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because they're way more fun than us.
Well, and think about
Apparently.
it. That's, as parents, that is probably the easier route, right? Like letting them be babysat by a phone, by TV, whatever. And I think, and I'm not knocking anybody, but I think that happens more often now.
I think everybody, I'm guilty of it.
Yeah. And so
Or we are guilty of it.
you lose that interaction with your kids, and then they're getting all of their info about the world and life through these videos
Yeah,
on
which
YouTube.
is toxic.
Yeah. So if you don't have that communication, I think that's probably
No, I agree 100%.
the failing of our society right now in America is not communicating with your kids.
So you think it's the youth?
Yeah, and the parents that are raising the youth right now, no fault of their own. That we're in that age where we started. Luckily we were not exposed to phones the way that they are now. But even us, we have our addictions to them.
I mean, even when we did, they weren't
Stay on that
smartphones.
landline for 5 hours, bro.
My mom used to have to just
Yeah,
come
it burns you.
Just breathe, just breathing.
Jake, I need you to get off the phone, honey. I need to use the phone. Mom, it's 10:45. Who are you calling?
Yes.
Dad's in the living room asleep on the couch watching TV, or the TV's, Just she would always do that to get me off the phone. Jake, honey, are you still? I need the phone, honey. Okay, Mom. Thanks.
She had a relative in Australia,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, that was the old way of them. They just pick up
Dude,
the
we
phone
didn't
and
even
listen.
have, and we didn't have call waiting.
No,
I never had.
not
I
for
did.
Well, we did eventually, but
Like, if you had your own phone line, you were a fucking cool kid.
oh, you were balling.
Thank you.
Wow.
Did you have your
Yeah,
own
yeah,
phone
I
line?
did.
Yeah. See,
I didn't.
it was
I
it
asked
was
for
first
that for Christmas. I got it.
the pager, right? The
Santa.
pager was the ultimate. You had the pager,
Oh,
you were
yeah.
the man.
Yeah, I had those.
Did you?
Oh yeah,
Boobies?
boobies. I mean,
You could.
Where
That's
are
the
we-
original.
it was 600
text messages that-
613.
143.
I think somebody does
I
a
love
bit
you.
on that too. A comedian does a bit about that. Like, that was the original
That- yeah.
text messaging.
Yeah.
was a
That's right.
pager. And then if you had your own phone line in your room, you were like, no way,
Yeah.
real cool.
Just think about what we used to have to do. You'd get a page, so somebody would ding you. Then you have to stop at a payphone if you're out and about.
Yeah.
And hope to find a payphone because there's no way of really knowing where one was. Most of
Right.
the time they were at gas stations.
Or typically it was walking outside the gym of the basketball game that you were watching to go
Yes.
use the payphone right outside the gym.
Just think about how long it took though to get the information.
Yeah.
It's insane, and it happened fast. Maybe that's the problem.
I think so. I think that is.
And now, if we don't get it fast enough, we just move on to the next thing. Like, there's no patience for anything anymore.
That's a good point.
Like,
There
the
is no
information
patience.
comes now. It's instant.
right.
Where
Even the way we consume watching things has changed to the point where it's like quick little hitters instead of full things, full movies, full
yeah,
whatever.
they've got it figured out. You get 5-minute reel. You know, they're 10-second videos that.
and it just
And then the next thing you know, it's midnight and 2 hours. have
yeah,
passed.
you're like, what did I do with my life?
Do you? I mean, you didn't have any brothers, but did you ever spy on your brother's conversations?
Oh,
like,
all the time.
Like, slowly pick up the phone, or did
All
you
the
guys like
time.
Oh yeah.
somebody had a girl?
I'd spy
I
on
guess-
his conversations too.
Why?
I was the Chinese government. No, because
As long
I
as you subscribe.
because I wanted to help him out in case he was going south on a conversation.
Well, what we would do when three-way calling was invented,
Uh-huh.
and if you had
Three-way
you
calling.
were chasing after some gal, or and somebody was friends with them,
Oh yeah.
they would call and have that conversation, and we would just sit in and listen.
Yes,
That's what you did. That was
that was a
the
true
invention
homie,
of three-way calling was amazing.
which probably led to the
Hey.
invention of three ways.
It very well could have.
Of course.
I mean, why wouldn't it, Burns?
I don't know. I mean, it's got to start
I thought
somewhere.
that was a good point, though. I
No,
mean,
that
we
is
used
a very-
to do that
yeah.
all
Which
the
is
time.
why.
the time.
Which is why.
You're
when,
like, hey, dude, will you call her?
Yes,
and talk
and
to her
find out.
about me.
Yeah.
so I can hear
And
it.
I'm like, yeah.
And then the worst was when the girl's like, "Oh no, I like you, Jeffrey," or something like
Like,
that.
yeah,
You're like, "Oh,
that's
what,
right.
but what about Kevin?"
You know what? I'll call you back in 2 minutes.
It's like in Billy Madison when he's calling the teacher.
Right.
His
right.
little friend. Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly.
What was
we
her
did
name? Miss Vaughn?
Miss
Yeah,
Vaughn.
Yes. Veronica Vaughn.
I'll
right?
show you
Vero
grown.
Vaughn.
I'll show you grown up. That's a good. That's very good. I like that.
It was on the other day.
But that just also, like, we would be knowing how we were as kids. Not that we were bad. Okay.
Mischievous, maybe.
Sure. And I think listen. Is it
Adventurous,
fair to say that like we were worse than maybe our kids?
but there's no documentation of it.
No, exactly. I'm not. I'm
in my
not
case,
admitting.
yes.
I'm not admitting
Yes.
to anything bad.
Yeah.
Wink, 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 wink.
Right.
But if we grew up with,
All this shit?
wow, we would be locked
Oh
up.
gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be fucking locked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Burns would.
We'd be suspended. We wouldn't be doing this for sure.
No.
No.
Yeah, it's a different time. I mean, yeah, my kids are much better than I was.
Yeah, mine too.
They're good kids.
I'm not there yet, but I think that
They will be.
Yeah. Not that we did anything that bad. It's just,
But you want to know why though? Because it was easier to get away with it.
yeah.
Because not everybody had one. My mom was the only one with the cell phone, and my dad.
And
when
it
my
was
dad's phone gets turned off at 6:30 when he gets home, you had to call the house phone. And most of my friends didn't have cell phones. So if you fucked up, it was because Johnny's mom told your mom.
Yeah.
That's how they found out, and it was a week went
Right.
by.
Right.
This you can find
Yeah,
out.
Susie will remember
You
this.
can- you can-
Susie Burns will remember this. She told my mom, "Oh, Jeff was out there kissing some gal by the bus when he was supposed to be watching the baseball game."
Who
and I'm
was it?
like, Susie, why?
Yeah,
why would you do that,
Mom,
Mom?
Ma,
Jeez, she did it.
the meatloaf. Get it together, Mom.
Yeah, she did.
Who are you making out with?
At that time, no, we're not gonna. We're not gonna.
Give
we're not giving any
give
names.
one initial. Don't say if it's first or last.
M.
He did it.
He did
First
it.
or last. It doesn't matter. We don't need to know.
No. But anyway, I got caught.
Wow,
And it
I
was-
can't believe my mom ratted you
It's like
out.
sophomore year, and I'm like, "What do you expect me to be doing, Susie?" I mean,
Yeah.
Being at the baseball game where
Watching-
you're
where you're
supposed, to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at the
That's
baseball
why you
game.
got told on.
I was just down by the field house behind the bus.
And what was she doing there?
She was walking out to her car
Huh.
and did the whole, "Oh, hey, Jeffrey." I'm like,
Where and your heart just drops.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah. You start feeling sick.
we're gonna need to go back in the game now.
That one you don't want to mess with.
Was your
No.
mom pissed?
No, she was just like, what are you doing? Like, what, you were supposed to be watching the game, and what, just what moms do,
Yeah.
asking a bunch of questions and me
Yeah.
deflecting.
That was probably the worst part. All
And
the
I was like,
questions.
yeah, I don't know. We were just over there. We were looking for something in the back of the bus. Like, we left.
Each other's
And
tonsils.
she's like,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
she goes,
I wanted to see
My-
if she
my
ever had
mom-
him out.
my mom goes, "That's a home game. Why were you?" And like, yeah, good point.
Whose bus were you on?
Yeah.
We were checking the other team's equipment.
We were making sure it was safe. No, you're a good man.
We were
A hero.
stealing Roosevelt's medical supplies, Mom. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Hey, we can talk some sports.
Oh, we can.
And I
This is
I
bonus list,
I know
right? Or is this
we've been
episode
trying.
48?
Listen, we're not purposely trying to avoid sports, but sometimes it's just more fun to talk about shit that's not sports. But this guy, Mr. Burns, to my left, took a trip to the waste management tournament
Yes.
in Arizona.
Yes.
And it looks like the most fun tournament that they have, other than maybe the Masters, as far as like crowds.
Yeah.
That it looked insane. It didn't even. I don't want to say it didn't look fun. It just looked like absolutely chaotic.
At our age, going on Saturday, which I did, is a mistake. Like, it was a fun
Is
tournament.
there a
It
lot
was
of people
cool.
hammered there?
There's a lot of people hammered. People have no respect. There are a bunch of young kids that are like college age. It's wild.
I mean, that's a college.
yeah. And
That's the college.
I would say I've been to a couple of tournaments, and the amount of noise and talking just nonstop, as if nobody's playing golf, is crazy. Because even at the Masters, where there's hundreds of thousands of people,
you're there to watch the Masters.
yeah, and they stop talking when people
Here
are about to
you're
hit.
trying to get like
Oh.
fucked up and,
Well, and
it's a party.
and create content. I saw a lot of people trying to do that, like interviewing each other with little. Fuck
Now-
sticks.
You told me a story, okay, and I'm gonna quote you,
Uh-oh.
okay, for our comment. Don't be mad, because he was kind of joking, kind of, I think.
Why are you putting your hand up like you're stopping me?
Don't come at me.
He almost fought a female
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, yeah. There was
in his brain. In his brain,
in my brain.
not literally.
I wouldn't. Yeah,
in his brain.
Physical interaction.
No. So we're in line to leave, and the line is crazy, and we're waiting for a bus because we parked away from the tournament. So we're in this line. It's forever. And then our bus would come, and it would be in the oh gosh.
Go ahead, say something. Just get it out of your system.
And everybody would
Where
be
did it
all
come?
red and like full of black tar. It was weird, but we made it through that. The bus would, like, we're here. The bus would stop here and pick people up.
When you say here, the people that are just listening,
it's right in front of my microphone. I have a so we're standing in front of the B sign. Our bus was the B. And we're standing right in front of where the B sign is, where they should be picking people up. They go in front of us, behind us, just they're coming in all spots.
Just coming everywhere.
Okay.
I mean,
all right. So you're
my
at spot
ears are
B.
full, my nose
Let's
is full.
bring it back in.
Okay.
All right. You're at spot B, and the buses just keep skipping over you.
In the meantime, there's a mob of people in this line.
Okay.
These two,
They're supposed to be in C.
Yeah, it's just chaos. There's no barriers up. There's nothing. Two young gals decided it was the best idea to crowd in front of myself and my wife. And I looked at them, and and then I looked at Kristen like, what's going on? She's like, please don't say anything. And I said, excuse me, ladies, and tapped them on the shoulder. I said, the line starts back there. One of them was just like, oh, you're an asshole. It started going off, right? The other one was like, well, I lost my phone. It's not working. I'm like, okay, I can get that because you're a young gal, whatever. So I'm like, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the line starts back there.
Right.
So head to the back.
So your phone can have a problem in the back or right here.
Yeah, like get it together.
Yeah.
And they don't know phone numbers, so they can't use somebody else's phone. They're useless, is what I got gathered from it. But they were looking at my wife, like that one on the right was looking at my wife like she was going to do something. And I'm like, I fought her 3 times in my head while standing there.
Is that is that worse than physically?
Oh, wait, I didn't fight her at all. But I
kidding.
thought if she were to attack my wife,
You were gonna have to
made
fight.
you
somebody was going down. Yeah, and they may have beat me up. Who knows? There was 2 of them. They seemed catty.
I mean, they weren't afraid to cut in front of you.
They were not. And they were so, like, the girls at this, and mind you,
You were like, hey, Mrs. Crowderson.
just to the back of the
Mrs.
line.
Crowderson.
To the back. Yeah.
Get your ass in the back.
And they're so scantily clad. And mind you, I have a almost 22-year-old son, and that's how old all of these girls are that are wearing nothing at this tournament. It's an experience. But long story short, or whatever, it was long. I didn't fight a girl.
Okay.
But
good. But
they
it
made
sounded
me
like
mad.
you were going to.
They made me mad. The guy that crowded in front of me to go to the bathroom, he almost got it. I was ready to fight that day, but I had not got it in that way. Like almost got a fist.
Right.
He may have liked if he almost got it from the backside.
How many people? You gave me a number of how many people.
Somebody
attend.
said 350,000 on Saturday.
Saturday.
And Friday was supposed to be similar, and then Sunday was supposed to be 200 plus.
And I think the best thing you told me was that at some point in time, they weren't even checking the tickets.
No, it was just a mob coming in.
Just letting people walk in.
The security guards are just standing back. They're like, keep moving, keep moving. No ticket checking. Could have got in for free.
Did you get at all a glimpse of 16?
No, just the stadium.
Like they line up there in the morning, right, every day, and they just open the gates and it's first come, first serve?
Yeah, and guys
or are you
sprinting.
buying tickets to be in that gallery?
So there's both. There's sponsors or whatever, corporations that buy boxes and stuff, but the bulk of it.
Look into that.
Next year. The bulk of them are lining up at the gate at like 5:30 in the morning. They open the gate and it's just a dead-on sprint. I don't know how somebody hasn't been trampled. It's crazy.
And
it's not a short distance. Like I would pull a hamstring. My toe would probably cramp.
Your toe?
Yeah, I get cramps in
Were
my
you
feet.
there the day? Was it a chick that went on the WM sign in the water?
It was a guy.
It was a guy.
Was
the
it a guy?
streaker. I was not. That was the day before.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you
But-
missed that.
Yeah. But it is an amazing, like, it's something that I've never experienced. Like, the golf course is awesome. Yeah, it was cool.
Sounds cool.
It was a lot, but it was cool. I don't really like people all that much, so being around that many.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You went to the Pro-Am deal in Tahoe and this. What was more enjoyable for you?
Pro-Am.
Is that because you were creepily snapping pictures?
see how
Is
he did
creepily a word, by the way?
Pro-am.
not-
Yeah,
not a word.
creepily.
It's not a word.
Creepy.
But the sneaking of Jerry Rice pictures and Miles Teller and like you're taking a lot of pictures of dudes. I noticed
Yeah, there's a lot there. You may like it, Jake.
some eye candy from Bernsey.
Yeah, who wants
Why
those
would you
girls
say me?
scantily
I mean,
clad?
like, let's be honest. You're the one always referencing dicks and buttholes.
We've got them.
Boom, Kevin.
Room 4.
No, I think that it seems like
No, the Pro-Am was definitely more fun.
it seemed
seemed like
more,
it would be
and
more
more
fun.
fan friendly. There's not that many people.
Right, that's the hard part. Like the golfers are not going to interact with the fans the way that they do at a smaller tournament like the Pro-Am or, in their practice rounds. And so it's very like they're doing a job. It looks like they're doing a job. It doesn't look like they're playing a game.
How much golf did you actually watch? I guess is also another thing.
We sat at hole number 9 green, and I probably saw, and I also saw like 15 shots. So not a lot
The whole day.
the whole day, because I would have to get up to go to the bathroom or get a beer, and then almost get in fights.
Just
and-
go, man.
in my pants.
Yeah.
I know.
And then
I
get
thought
another
about
beer.
Yeah,
And
and then-
another beer.
it. Yeah,
And another beer.
yeah. The beers flow really nice there. It's surprising.
What was the weather like?
Perfect. It was really cold in the morning, but then it was like 70.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a tan.
Wow.
So that was fun.
No, I just was curious.
No, but I think
This
that
is the sports we were talking.
I think that
I
if
was
we're
curious.
Going
He
to go
went-
to
it's
a
one of the-
golf tournament. It
The
should be
biggest
the
events.
Pro-Am.
Yeah.
Or not the Pro-Am, the amateur.
The U.S. Open is where you want to go.
Well, that too, or Masters. But for like a fun event for us bros,
Why is talking golf so boring for you? Why do you hate it?
Because it's a boring sport.
But you like to play it.
Yeah. But I like to play boring golf. Fairway, green, putt-putt.
Putt, putt,
Fairway,
putt,
green,
putt.
putt-putt.
but that's
Putt.
what you would watch if you watched the PGA
Fairway,
too.
green,
Putt-putt.
bunker, fringe,
Yeah.
putt, putt,
Yeah.
putt, putt.
Water.
4 putts.
Skip off the fucking water that they get your water out of. Hit it off that straight onto the green. Yeah. That's your kind of golf.
Dude, I couldn't do it. I see those crowds of people. There's a great picture. I don't know what tournament. It might have been the Masters a long time ago of Tiger
Yeah.
hitting down the fair, and like it was as narrow as this table, and just people all, and like they would die. I'd be killing people every tournament.
Absolutely.
I couldn't do that.
No.
16? No way.
Yeah. And they're right there
Nah.
too.
I
Even
would-
right now
no.
in the tournament, the fans are just right there.
I'd hit that shit over the seats left into another part of the golf course.
I would probably shank it right into somebody's teeth.
I'm just saying I'm hurting somebody.
Right? What would you do?
I would find those 2 gals, Burns,
And have them stand
yeah.
right there.
and I'd have somebody put a radar on them, and I'd try to hit it as hard as I could right at one of them.
I like that.
As
where
hard
I'd
as
hit
you
it.
could.
I like that.
Did you get their names by any chance?
Stephanie and
You're joking.
Brittany. No, we talked for a while. We became friends. they were
He
nice.
just- he just
they were
made
nice
that up.
gals.
I mean, you should have rolled with it. That'd have been good.
We talked. The one was like when we were going to finally get on the bus. She's like, "Here, you guys go in front of us." I'm like, "No, go."
No, please,
go."
you've crowded enough.
Yeah, I'm like, just
We wouldn't
keep
wanna
on
crowd
your
you.
journey. Yeah. So I said, "Bye, Stephanie."
Do you guys care about? Listen, people are going to ask. Our tight listeners, our listeners, our diehards, going to wonder if we're ever going to address like the Super Bowl. Do we care? It's over.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah.
We can talk about the Super Bowl and
I mean, I predicted it, but go ahead.
What did you
guys-
predict?
That the Kansas City Chiefs
You
were
just
the
picked-
team to beat. No, I said it from the beginning of the year
I don't remember. Maybe you did.
because you guys were on Buffalo.
Yeah. Well,
we'll go back and listen to that.
We should. Maybe we'll do an episode just listening to it.
just go back and this.
You hanging on the Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody knows that.
Yeah, they're my new favorite team.
You got lucky.
So you're ditching the Packers.
Oh yeah, no more
Because
Packers.
Aaron Rodgers is out. You know that, right?
Yeah, no more Packers. I'm done. They can pack themselves.
So you're not a Packers.
hate
If
the
Aaron
Packers.
Rodgers leaves, are you done being a Packers fan?
No, I'm kidding. I'm Packers.
Why?
I like the Packers.
What do you like about them?
I like the history of the team. I like watching them play. I like their field.
So if you have a team, and I know we're doing podcasts, and so we should pick teams, but like you're a Dolphins fan,
Yes.
so do you even feel like? Do you even give a shit about picking a team? Like, should you not pick a team if you have a team? Because I don't have a team.
For what?
The Super Bowl.
I didn't care who won. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't rooting for one team or the other.
Even though you picked a team for this.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't bother me. If the Dolphins aren't playing,
Because like if you're a diehard Dolphins fan, I don't give a shit about the Eagles. I don't care about the Chiefs. And if you're a Packers fan.
Now, I will say this.
Or are you saying
When Peyton Manning was in the NFL, guys like Drew Brees, those two guys, when they were in the Super Bowl, if the Dolphins weren't in, I would root for their teams.
Yeah.
So
Because of
the
them
Colts,
individually.
the Saints, the Broncos, which I don't give a shit about any of them now. But when they were playing in their prime, yeah, I would
So
root
were
for
you-
that player that I liked.
Were you asking how I can root for the Chiefs? Or were you just making a
Yeah, I guess I'm asking, like,
Yeah.
if do diehard fans like pick a team for the Super Bowl because they're gonna bet, or like they want the certain team to win? If you're a diehard fan, you wouldn't want anybody but your team to win.
Correct.
So why would you pick a team to win?
Well, same as what Jeff was saying. I like to see Patrick Mahomes do well and Kelsey. I like them as
Not the
players.
entire team. Not
I
Andy
mean,
Reid.
if they were to leave, I probably wouldn't root for them in the Super Bowl. I mean, if one of them left, yeah, maybe, but yeah.
I thought it was a great game. No, you shrug.
No, it was a good game. It was a good game, but again, I think Kansas City is now, when they pack their luggage, they stuff the refs in their luggage bags. Also,
Little pets.
yeah, they're little pets.
Well, how do you agree with that assessment?
I don't know what we're referring to.
Of course
Can
you do.
tell me?
Pets.
Of course you-
pets,
pets.
in luggage bags.
I mean,
Zebras.
it depends if they have claws.
Specifically.
Zebras,
Yeah.
they'd be all right probably, unless they got startled.
You know what he's talking about.
Are you talking about the little yellow flags on the field?
Yeah.
Which one in particular?
Well,
Burns, you know which one he's talking
But does
about.
everybody else? The holding call at the end, right?
Yeah.
you haven't called it all game.
Yeah.
And
I agree that
And
it
then
was
when
a
the game's on the
crappy
line,
call.
it's just kind of odd. I mean, skeptic. I've never been a skeptic till these last two games. And it has nothing to do with the Chiefs because I don't give a shit. Mahomes is good. He's great. Okay, he's the MVP. He's been to the AFC Championship 5 times, won 2 Super Bowls, not taking anything away from him. But why I'm saying like the skepticism comes in is before the Super Bowl even starts, they sit down and they have an interview with Patrick Mahomes. And they specifically go to comparing him to Tom Brady. And all the stuff that Tom Brady did and Mahomes going into, well, he made it to 10. I want to make it to 11. He won 7. I want to win 8, like any competitor would, right? Mm-hmm. But like you have Jalen Hurts in year 2 who takes his team to the Super Bowl. You have Joe Burrow last year that takes his team to the Super Bowl. Okay. Like, why are we not talking specifically about these guys having that same potential? So to me, it looked like, okay, get ready, everybody, because the NFL, if it is scripted, if it's the WWF of the 2020s, right? Patrick Mahomes is your guy now.
How many
This is what they're teeing it up to.
years did they make the AFC Championship? The
I think
Chiefs.
I think it's 5. He's made all 5.
How many years has Jalen Hurts made the NFC Championship? Or
1,
the
but he's
Super
only
Bowl?
played 2 years.
Okay,
And same
so
thing
I
with
think-
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and I think it's like the difference is where Mahomes is at right now in his career. He's been there a little longer. He's had success a little bit longer. Those guys could be in the conversation, but
Not
they're-
taking anything away.
No, I know,
What
but
I'm
you're
saying is,
asking
are
what-
they teeing him up?
probably he's a superstar. Like the NFL knows how to market people. They marketed.
Well, there you go. That's kind
Everybody.
of where I'm going.
I don't think
Are they
that it-
marketing him?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure they are, but I don't think
Okay.
that it's going to affect the outcomes of games aside from maybe that the refs are human and they're going to have a natural bias based on what they see all the time. That could do it, but I don't think it's this big conspiracy.
I don't know. You have former NFL players coming out saying that it's scripted.
Who?
You don't
Arian
believe
Foster.
that, do you?
Arian
No.
Foster, and he was trolling everybody.
All I'm doing. Thanks, Jake.
My bad. Sorry.
Thanks. I'll just stop here.
Sorry.
Okay.
Dance.
No, keep going, Jeffrey. I'm ready.
No, I
for
mean
you.
it's just odd. It's odd how both games
Yeah.
come down to the very end on a controversial call. And yeah, we can sit here and say, "Oh, well, lots of games." Yeah, they do.
Who's to gain from this? So, like, why?
The NFL.
How?
Well, they had I think it was the second or third most viewers in the history, right, of the Super Bowl.
I don't know.
So the
Or
game
maybe it
is
was
more
number
popular than it's ever been. So now they're going to be like, well, it's conspiracy time. Let's make sure we know who's
Well, there's
gonna
more
win.
money than there's ever been.
Yeah. And there's more money invested into it by gambling, by other investors. So it would take a ginormous conspiracy to pull this off.
I don't know. I
I mean, aliens are more feasible than what you're talking about.
than it being scripted.
Yeah. Right?
I don't know.
I just want to. You guys keep going. You respond.
I honestly don't know. Like, it just seems odd to me. The Chiefs, to me, were not that good. They were a good team, but they weren't better than the Bengals or the Bills. And the Bills
won.
took a shit when they played them and
Yeah.
lost one possession game, right? And then they were just horrible in the playoffs.
So it sounds like you're saying the Chiefs had good.
They had some help,
good
is all I'm
success
saying.
in one possession games this
No,
year.
they've been
Like the
very good
Vikings
for
did
many
all year,
years.
And then they
Here's what I would love for somebody, maybe you, to say, is let's give Andy Reid the
Yeah.
credit, not Patrick Mahomes. Okay, Donovan McNabb didn't win Super Bowls with Andy Reid, but he got there 3 times. Okay, Kansas City, since Andy Reid got there, is relevant again. So I can get behind Andy Reid is one of the best coaches, if not the best in the NFL. That I can get behind. So we talked about it a little bit, a couple weeks ago. If Joe Burrow was with Andy Reid in this offense, would he do that? Yeah, he would.
think that both things can be happening simultaneously. Andy Reid is a great coach. Patrick Mahomes is a great player. They both win games for the team.
Sure.
But so you said
But
something
the
interesting.
one constant is Andy Reid, who continues to get to
Well, Mahomes has been there-
championship games on both
Hold on,
sides
but
of the football.
You said something
in
interesting
NFC and AFC.
with Mahomes or with Joe Burrow if he was on the Chiefs with Andy Reid. Then give the Bengals Mahomes
yeah,
with
he'd be
Jamar
just as good.
Chase and T. Higgins
Yeah.
and
Be just as good.
Mixon.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree. But put both those guys on the Saints right
So
now.
are you saying that those quarterbacks are interchangeable? Do you feel that way?
I think those two, yeah.
Okay.
In my opinion, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
those teams are interchangeable, really.
I felt like the Super Bowl, like Andy Reid, when Mahomes was hurt, he just won the game for him with how he ran the offense.
Yeah.
He didn't ask him to do anything more than just get the ball out and don't turn it over and let these guys go make plays. Like he did, I thought Jalen Hurts played a better game.
Oh, absolutely. Jalen Hurts looked.
And without Jalen Hurts, the Eagles have no shot to win
None.
that game. And the defense honestly lost that game. So
which happened to be, they're equivalent to the 84 and 85 Bears in the most sacks in NFL history as a team, yet they don't rush the passer
they didn't have one sack
at all in
I
the
don't-
in the second half. Why, when that's what got you here? So, there's just some. To me, I don't think it's scripted. I'm just making the argument that some of these things seem odd. Like
Well,
what
if
got
Mahomes-
you there though?
If Mahomes is hurt, even more so, right? Bring the pressure.
That's exactly my point. He runs 30 yards on a high ankle sprain twice in 2 games.
Did he?
Right.
What did they say? Paul
did it.
Pierce? Did he Paul Pierce him?
I don't know. He was mic'd up and obviously in a lot of pain when he came off in the Super Bowl.
You think the adrenaline and everything?
Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
He's going to power through it.
You can't power through high ankle sprains.
Well, he just did.
I don't.
But I mean,
I don't buy it.
We
at
talked.
all.
I think you and I were talking about Jay Kaner here with the dogs. Like
Yes.
that was He didn't play for 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Mahomes
he's not tough.
Didn't miss a game.
And I'm not saying Mahomes isn't tough.
No, not at all.
And so if that was the cloak and dagger that you guys are saying it was it a smart move by them to make it like he was injured, more injured than what he was? I'm sure there's some kind of sprain there. Maybe
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't
teams do that all the time.
Well, it wasn't. What I'm
game
saying
time
is he got
decisions-
hurt because Henne came in the Jacksonville game,
right.
right? So he was hurt at one point.
Mm-hmm.
He just wasn't that hurt.
So that's what I'm saying. They played it up like it was worse than it was.
Belichick used to do that.
Yeah.
They would, like, again, game time decisions are a very common thing for
I don't
that
know,
reason.
I'm just saying it's odd that he was hurt. The Eagles have, the most sacks since 1985 as a team, and you don't rush anybody.
Is that it was a young defensive coordinator?
But I mean,
young
that's
coach?
not on
young
the-
defensive coordinator, though, got them to the 1 seed.
No, I know.
Steamrolled through the playoffs, gave them a 10-point lead twice in the Super Bowl, and then just stopped.
But
Isn't that odd?
I don't think it's odd. I think it's one team outcoached the other.
You don't coast it in the Super Bowl. So you keep your game scheme, especially if it's working. If the game plan's working, which has worked all year, you continue to do that.
Yeah, but when
The
you're
Eagles
a young
didn't.
coach who has never experienced that, right? He's never experienced a Super Bowl, has never coached in a game on that level.
Bernsey, I don't think the
You-
moment was too big for him, if that's where you're going.
For who?
It could have been the coach, and
No.
he could have clammed up.
You tell these big guys that are standing on the line,
Yeah, but it's different. You got. In a
I want
game
you
like
to
that.
I want you to rush the passer. You tell these linebackers, I want you to rush the passer. That doesn't take much. You could tell guys that. I could tell guys that. And he told them enough to make them one of the best teams in NFL history in sacking the quarterback. So why would you change the game plan in the
He clammed
last
up. They had a lead. He thought that they could play softer defense. Like that. I don't think that it's this conspiracy.
But they didn't do it the whole
odd.
game, though. They didn't.
Rush.
The one time they
quarterback.
blitzed was inside their own 10, and they got burned for.
It's odd to me.
Again, big game, young coach. They
You
got
could be
outcoached.
right.
All right. Well, hey,
I've-
congratulations, Chiefs fans.
Thank you.
Andy Reid.
Yeah, I like
That's
Andy
my
Reid.
Get
coach.
yourself a cheeseburger.
Is
I love
Terry
it.
Bradshaw going to get
Okay,
in trouble?
so well, and then the other thing with the what did he say? What did Bradshaw call him?
I can't really like Porky or
Yeah.
something.
I would have been like, motherfucker, fuck you.
No,
Bradshaw could
I mean,
get
I
away
could
with it.
call you names, and you wouldn't do that. Like if
You
if
think
we're
Andy
friends,
Reid
if
and Terry Bradshaw are tight, and he was like on national at the Super Bowl and just says, "Hey, fat boy, come on up here." Like, hey, fuck you, Terry. You're falling off that
You would?
stage. Yes,
I don't think you would.
they're not that tight.
I think you'd be happy.
If you
You'd
did it,
embrace
I wouldn't
anything.
care.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but are
We
they
don't
that
know if-
tight?
We don't know. Obviously, he's tight enough. If Bradshaw said it,
Maybe he didn't hear it.
no,
Seems
he
odd.
heard it.
Seems
The
odd.
world's heard it.
What would-
Burns heard it. So if Burns heard it, the world's heard it.
Everybody did. What would I do
Yeah,
if somebody?
you wouldn't make that comment. You've never done that to me, though.
I don't call you that.
I know.
I think it depends on their relationship. If they're close, yeah, whatever. I mean, yeah, it's probably not the best thing on.
Okay, Super Bowl, Rihanna. Where are we at on Rihanna?
Horrible performance.
I mean, she
I
was.
eating dinner.
Did anybody? I didn't know she
She's
was
pregnant,
pregnant.
yeah.
Did the world know that prior to? I didn't know. I don't follow that shit.
I feel like I heard about
I
it.
personally
you?
don't
I
care.
can't-
I thought I heard she'd had a kid or something
She
like.
did have a kid.
She
I
did,
believe.
right?
Yeah. Her
I'm not-
and
Hey, I
Why
was-
can't she have kids?
Listen, I was thinking.
yeah, I don't,
No, why? I mean, why does it matter
Yeah.
if she's pregnant or not?
I'm
I'm not saying you're saying
why
it
peop-
matters that she's pregnant.
I didn't know.
when
who gives
people
a
made
shit?
So
yeah,
when
people
she
made a big
started her
deal.
performance, and they're like, "Oh, first thing that when I was at my parents' house with my brothers, like, oh, she looks pregnant."
Well, she had a 5-size oversized coat.
Yeah, and I'm like, I
like a
think she's-
5X.
And it's like, I mean, for the money she made, I would have gone after
No,
it.
bring
dude.
back Snoop Dogg and Dre and Eminem.
That
Like,
was
get rid of-
last year's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
that was
rid
a
of
good one.
Rihanna.
The music's not. Hey, I'm just gonna say.
I didn't think it was good, but Chris Stapleton's,
gosh.
that was badass.
He
Yeah.
brought the house down.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
but
was
he's-
And then
badass.
Sirianni with the tears coming
this
down.
crocodile, like
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah, I was crying. I was.
Is it because is he white? Is that why?
Yeah. Chris Stapleton? Yeah, he is. He's white. So is Sirianni, though.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
This just got odd.
Fucking kidding, Burns.
This got weird.
Relax. I
kidding,
didn't
too.
like the performance was boring, but I don't mind her music at all. Honestly,
Brian
she's got some
Dable,
hits.
Coach of the Year.
whatever. No,
Bernsey?
good job. No, I'm not saying not like.
I mean, you guys were hanging on
Kyle-
Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones.
But you also had Kyle Shanahan.
Shanahan's.
Shenanigans.
Add a S to it.
Shenanigans. Kyle what?
Shanahan's.
Shanahammock.
Who probably should have won.
Or Sirianni.
I mean, Sirianni,
Sirianni
beat them both.
That's right. I'm sorry. I forget about the Eagles. I don't know why. They're just.
One.
I'll probably forget in a few weeks who the Chiefs beat.
You did right now.
Brian
Yeah.
Brian Dable is a good candidate.
Agreed. I
Yeah.
agree.
I don't think he should have
I
won.
don't think he should have won.
No.
But I can see how he did. I mean, the Giants were
Well, they were
shit,
they were
and now
terrible
they're-
the year before. I get it.
Yeah.
I just didn't think so. And I think
Who would you have? Would it? Have been
I thought I said
Sirianni?
Sirianni earlier, and that was halfway through the
I'm
year.
a Shanahan guy when it comes to.
I
Coach
think
of the
that's
year.
impressive with what he had to deal with,
Yeah.
especially at such a high-profile marquee position to get where they got. And if he doesn't get hurt, who knows how that Eagles game plays out? Who knows?
Do you see Debo? They were talking about him going to the Patriots.
I haven't
No.
seen that. No.
He's not
I
going.
did
to.
see Saquon going to Miami though.
Really?
Yeah,
Watch your lips, Burns.
Whoa,
Aaron Jones
jumped
signed a 1-year deal.
that's good.
The Packers, he'll be back.
Oh, he's the Packers. I didn't know.
Jesus.
So Sirianni, is that what we were talking about?
What happened to you?
No. Yeah, you were fine.
What happened
up
to you?
until
You're the
about
last
2
minute-
seconds
yeah.
ago.
What happened? Are you okay?
Yep, I'm good.
What just
right.
what just popped in your brain? Are you okay?
I don't know.
Do we need to take a break?
No, I'm good.
You want to talk about dicks for a minute?
You bring it back.
Okay.
And sniffing buttholes. Okay.
Okay, enough
Okay,
Super
I'm
Bowl.
good.
It's over,
I'm
right?
good.
Season's over. Getting congrats.
Offensive Player of the Year though, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
We called that.
Did we call that? Did we
Yeah,
talk about that?
We called him being the best receiver in the NFL.
Why do you look at me? I'm a Chiefs fan.
Okay, so
He's a Viking. He's a Viking.
I know that's why you're looking at me.
Yeah.
he's a baller.
I said Patrick Mahomes was going to win MVP.
Well, I mean, hey,
So if
okay, you
wanna
guys
tug
watch
on
enough
your own
football.
nuts, I'll tug on mine.
Who's the number 1 overall pick next year in fantasy? As of right now.
Joe,
You think so?
Mama. Sorry, I had to.
I guess it depends on
Justin
how you play,
Jefferson.
but I was gonna say probably.
Or Jamar Chase.
No McCaffrey, huh? Or
Oh,
Eckler?
I don't know. I don't know
Maybe.
fantasy well enough.
I don't know.
Isn't it a receiver world now in fantasy?
It's
Well, at
becoming
least in
that.
our
It's
league.
becoming that.
But everywhere, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Who
I'm
are
going
you taking?
McCaffrey.
You would go McCaffrey
Yeah.
first.
I'm back.
You're in.
Back to believing. Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
And he'll fucking get hurt. And
Who's
going to
be handing the ball off to him?
Doesn't matter. You just have him go out 3 yards and throw it. Let him run 45.
That is going to
Yeah.
be a fun topic when the season comes back around
Yeah,
and
we'll
camp
start
comes
hitting
back
that in
around
July.
to see who's going to be the guy there. There has been in the comments you mentioned it a few minutes ago about, or maybe it was you regarding Mahomes to Brady. I think it was you. I just don't like. Can we stop?
Yeah, we're not there
That's
yet.
that's what I'm. That's kind of my.
I'm
point.
talking about not
I'm glad
us.
you brought that
I'm
back
just
up.
talking about like the public. Like,
Yeah.
let's just stop. It's not even. He still has to win.
Hey, he's not even close to Montana yet.
Like, you got to win 5 more Super Bowls.
I think comparing him to a guy like Aaron Rodgers, whoever I talked to about this,
There's you and I.
yeah, I think comparing him to somebody like that is probably more reasonable because
He's better than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think he's growing to be better right now.
Well,
Well,
he's
Aaron
already
Rodgers is
done more on
what?
the field than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but
has.
how old is? I'm saying in Aaron Rodgers' prime.
Yeah, he was legit.
Yeah, but the NFC championships compared
That's a
to the
comparable
AFC championships.
A comparable
But
like
Brady,
player
I
comp.
don't think Brady
Yeah,
is yet.
Stop with the Brady.
Maybe
stuff.
in 5-10 years when he's got some time under.
I
his
agree
belt.
with you. And that
not
was
right
my
now.
whole point of why are we going to sit down and have this interview with Patrick Mahomes like he's the next Brady?
Well, because
Like we're
that's
trying
what
to
he
put.
may be.
Well,
Yeah,
he
they're-
may be.
Okay,
there
that's-
may be
but
a
that's
lot of
their
guys
job.
that are
Yeah,
that
they
way.
wanna
That's their
get on
job
it right
too.
now.
And I don't think Mahomes thinks that either, by the way. He's not.
Well,
he
you
does-
listen to him talk, and I think he does think that,
Well, he's confident.
and that's great. Confidence is huge.
Yeah, but how old's Kelsey? How long is he going to have Kelsey?
That's a
How
good
long is he
point.
going to have anybody on that team?
Yeah.
He's going to run out of offensive weapons at some point. Or you know what else?
Well,
is-
and-
or he's going to fucking get hurt. The way
Or
he
Andy
plays,
Reid will retire.
Brady doesn't play that way. Brady didn't play that way.
Yeah. That's why he needs more
And
time.
Brady also had one of the. How long do you have that offensive line?
Yeah, long time.
He didn't have to play. Like I'm not saying it's not possible, but let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
We're not even like.
That was my whole point.
It's not
is
even
why are
halfway
we-
there.
Why are we even having this conversation? Like,
Because people take
well,
them.
at this point, he had only won one. It was pregame.
So in that interview, they were comparing.
It was
him
before the
to
game.
Yeah,
Brady.
it was before the game.
How
in
what was
pregame.
the comparison like? Like, oh, Mahomes is almost like Brady, or was it like
yeah, like
he's trending like
yeah,
Brady
you're
did?
trending in to be the next Tom Brady,
Okay.
right? And you've only won one Super Bowl. Well, a lot of people have won one Super Bowl. So we're hyping this guy up before the Super Bowl, which I get. But we don't have this conversation with Jalen Hurts, which I don't think they should. I don't think they should have had it with Mahomes either, because he's not even close. Not even close. Okay, now he's 1-2, so he's in a select category with select few people, right? Then he wins 3. Okay, then you can start having the conversation of you're trending like Montana. You're not trending like Brady at this point. So comparing him to Brady's just ignorant.
Yeah.
Ignorant. And I hate Tom Brady.
No, you don't.
I respect him, but I hate him. As a Dolphin fan, you can't like Tom Brady. You can't say, oh, yeah, I love Tom Brady or I like Tom Brady. No. Sorry. Nope.
Don't do it, Jake.
Next.
Tell Ricky not to do it either.
Yeah, Ricky
Do you
shouldn't.
agree with that?
I forgot what he said.
Where did you go?
No, I'm kidding. Yes, I agree. I don't think that it's time to compare him to him, but I think the NFL is going to hype the next best thing, which is Patrick Mahomes right now. So of course,
Arguably.
they're going to make these stretches and say, "Oh, he's Brady-like." What does that do? It draws more people to him, and he is a dynamic player. People like to watch him. So, do I think that it's real to compare him right now to Tom Brady? No. But I think the media is going to spin it however they want, which is going down that path.
That's
and
their
giving
job.
him more championships.
It's their job.
Giving him more?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying this was just handed to
Well,
Patrick
no,
Mahomes?
I'm saying if it comes out, if there's more evidence that comes out that it's scripted. Right.
But the
This
only
is the
evidence
hang on.
is Arian Foster.
No, but listen, that's not the only evidence. There's a lot of people talking about it. It's all over social media. And it's only happened this year.
Are they
So
professionals?
it's never come up before this year, which makes it even
Or
more
are they
odd to me.
experts?
Listen,
Are
you
they
can't.
experts?
You've got to be careful with it. Right? I don't think it's scripted.
I don't either. I'm
but
not
I
saying
also
it
don't.
is.
I don't think.
It's a conversation piece.
I don't think like you could be right. It happened in the NBA. Like officials were tampering with games. Like
Yeah, but that's a different thing than what you're saying. You're saying
no,
this
what
is a
I'm saying.
huge NFL
What I'm saying is
conspiracy.
it's not. It's possible.
for referees to be dirty.
Dude, here's the
Yes.
thing. In that moment in time, and I'm a ref, I can be like, I know it's 3rd and 8. I know there's a minute 49 left in the game, and a first down ends it. I can make an impact right
That's
here.
fair. I agree with you.
Yeah.
You don't have to script the game.
Exactly.
You can pick a moment in
No,
time.
they're not going to
but
script every play, Burns,
I'm
because
not even
there's
saying
going to be
that,
one
but
rebel.
You're saying that it's this huge NFL conspiracy. That
I'm not
everybody's
saying
in on it. What
anything.
you're talking
I didn't
about.
take that. What I'm saying is I'm not taking that away from what he's saying. I'm not saying it's an NFL.
I'm giving it as a conversation like everybody else is talking about. There's some things that seem odd this year that have happened probably over the course of the last 10 years, but nobody's said anything about it. Why are we talking about it now? And then why does it have to do with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs or Joe Burrow and the Bengals or Josh Allen and the Bills, you know, is it scripted? No, I don't think it is. There's just things that are odd. That's all I'm saying.
I can confirm.
Fair.
If you've ever been to a San Diego Padres game, and you guys just went down there
Yeah.
over the summer.
Very nice.
And I did too. Have you ever been?
No.
I can confirm that the men that I saw in the rafters up in the lights are snipers. There are snipers there during the game.
What?
Yeah, we went over the summer with the kids.
Is it because of the military base?
Don't know.
It must be.
I should have asked that. But
bet you that's
so
what it
I
is.
noticed people up there with binoculars, and I saw somebody that works for the Padres, and I asked him about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they're snipers every game." I was like, "What?"
That's crazy.
Yeah. So if you ever go to the Padres game,
Shit.
and
can go
maybe
down.
they're at every stadium. I never noticed it before until I went to the Padres game and I saw these guys up in the lights. Just
So don't go run on the field
probably not a good idea.
if you're in San Diego.
Yeah.
Probably not a
Not
good
the best
idea.
place to do it.
Anything in the world before we anything bothering you? Anything that you're seeing that's bothering you? Anything funny happened? Any more dildo stories?
No dildo stories this week.
Did your mom happen to mention anything about?
Not yet.
She's ashamed.
Oh, my mom is not ashamed. She's probably laughing her ass off. She probably loved it. No, she wouldn't be ashamed.
Did anybody?
She was just telling you.
Has anybody reached out to you? I've gotten some comments about the that story being
Fake?
just being hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've also got those.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's the crazy part is it being true. Right?
I mean, I'm sure there's a number of
I mean, that's
Or getting them stuck down your throat. I imagine that.
like. Is
happens.
that the craziest one you've been told or heard?
Well, I think the adding that it's a box and only one penetrated is the funniest part.
Understood. I'm
Oh, you're
asking
saying,
you.
oh,
If,
the
no, I'm
actual
asking if you
dildo
had.
out there.
No. I'm asking if you have
Other
other
stories.
stories that are wild. Like what? Like, that's a wild story. Do you have more? Is what I'm asking.
Not that I can think of right now.
Out of all straightening dicks, fixing backs, that's the one. That's all you got.
That's it. It's a steel
you know
trap
what?
up here.
Last episode, you asked something about the biggest mistake you made, and you ran through a drive-through, correct?
Yeah. We dropped the ball.
We
on
didn't
that.
talk about that because it's not scripted. So I had to go back and think of. Obviously, I've made some mistakes over the course of my career.
Like an accidental.
In the
mess
first
up.
year of my career, I'm probably 3 months in. For those of you that don't know, there's dry containers that go to the Port of Oakland, and there's refrigerated containers. Well, the refrigerated containers have a genset on it, which is basically a temperature-controlled unit that keeps the cargo at a specific temperature throughout transit, and then when they go on to the boat to go overseas, they get plugged in and they stay at that same temperature. Well, I didn't really know all that 3 months in, and we're doing a load of chocolate, okay? And it's through like a kind of a tank, weird deal that we probably shouldn't have been doing anyway. But anyway, when chocolate gets loaded, it's warm, okay? And it goes into this tank, and it kind of circulates like you would think a cement truck would, right? Well, on the bottom of this tank, there's a cap that keeps it closed, okay? Well, I told the driver, just go in. The equipment's all set, which it's not. He has to check all of it. I didn't know that. Okay, so I send him in. He goes into Ghirardelli Chocolate, and they start loading the chocolate. Well, as they're loading it, it all fucking goes out on their brand new asphalt that they just laid. And what I also didn't know is chocolate hardens very quickly when it hits something. So the guy,
kinda like me.
the guy at Ghirardelli Chocolate calls me, and he's extremely pissed off. Like, I mean,
Oh, I imagine.
he is irate as irate you can be. Okay, and he's like, "Your driver didn't do that," and like I can't even understand him. He's yelling so much, and he's like, "But you need to get somebody over here because we've got chocolate everywhere." And
Get
I'm like,
Willy Wonka.
I'm like, all right. So we go over there, and it's like this thick, okay, of chocolate on this brand new asphalt. Fuck, we're like, I'm looking at my dad. He's like, figure it out. I don't know. I mean, you didn't have him check the equipment. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and this is going to cost a fortune, which it was like probably $15,000 to clean all this up, and the trailer. Like the trailer's ruined. Everything's ruined on this whole load. And I tell the driver, I'm like, hey, just start getting a shovel and like, you know,
Just
chisel away at that motherfucker, you know.
Throw some in the back of my truck.
He's like, Jeff, there's like maybe 100 to 200, maybe 300 square feet of chocolate. It's going to take me like 6 days with one shovel. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Scratch that. Let me go back to the drawing board. So anyway, I had somebody come in, clean that up, and we had to re-asphalt their pavement for them because it ruined it all the way through. They had to,
Wow.
yeah. So that was kind of a big fuck up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is.
So anyway,
Yeah, I like that. And Burns, did you recalibrate that story? You got anything?
Yeah, so I do have a story. Oh, it's not like that one. It wasn't. It's not
well, same
gonna be
thing will
quite as
happen
good.
with grape juice if you're doing frozen.
It will harden.
No, if the temperature goes down, it won't stay. It won't stay solidified or at a frozen
Oh, if it
temperature.
was frozen.
Yeah,
So
it becomes juice,
uh-huh.
and that just leaks everywhere. Also,
Yeah, juice
I've done
does.
that also. But go ahead.
With a load.
Yeah,
Whose load?
they're still a customer of mine. I'm not gonna. I'm not going to.
Burns, keep your loads to yourself.
So there are you. Okay.
Burns, bring it back, Burns. Come
Okay.
on.
So
Your story. Let's go.
another one. So and they always seem to be like a sexual thing, and not because they're me, but these are the,
I beg to differ.
these are the type of people that end up in
Tomato.
ERs.
Go ahead.
You know, we're all one and the same. So another guy, I can't remember if it was guy or gal. So there's this fetish that people have of shoving a rope down their throat while they're, you know, having sex or beating off, whatever. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I can't say that I have. This is the first time.
Yeah.
That's
Weird.
not be a very popular
Yeah, I
fetish.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All
I
right, but
tried
go-
it.
but
I
go
tried
ahead.
it. It doesn't. It's not all that
I don't
good.
even know if I can watch you while you say this. Go ahead.
Wait, hang on. Let me swallow this rope first.
Yeah, they may have shoved it the other way too. I don't know. The rope penetrated them down one orifice, butt, throat, right?
Mm-hmm.
A rope, remember?
Yeah,
So clearly,
there was a knot.
the rope gets stuck, right? Because your body just is like gripping onto it, and it frays, and it does all of this. So not only did the patient have to come in and be like, you know, I got this weird fetish. I stick ropes down my butt or up my butt and down my throat. That's odd enough. When they went in to get it, it was ripping the whole time. So they're trying to get it like laparoscopically, and it's just ripping apart. So it took the guy like 24 hours to do the surgery to get this
Wow.
rope out. So just for what, 30 minutes of pleasure, you're going to go through 24 hours of surgery?
I thought we were
Think
talking
he
about.
swallowed any more ropes?
I don't think, well, possibly. I mean, if it's a fetish, you may not be able to stop.
When this was locally,
I don't know.
there's a couple patients that you've encountered. We need to get on the
Oh,
pod.
no.
yeah.
These are friends of friends
Got
that
some
tell
questions.
me about it.
Yeah. And next week,
Yeah.
we'll have the rope swallower.
No,
I bet you could do the knives too, like in the circus.
Yeah, that's not real.
that's not
What?
real.
It's not.
No,
magic?
It goes right. What do you
no,
mean?
it's one of those retractable
Optical
knives.
illusions? You think it is?
Yeah, it's a plastic retractable knife.
At the
dude.
highest level, you think it is?
Yes.
Like on Barnum
So the
and
guys,
Barnum?
the guys
Yeah.
that on America's Got Talent, they're not
Yes.
really shoving knives.
No,
and
they're
swords.
they are, but they're retractable. They're
You
like
can
play
prove
knives.
that?
I just made it up.
Would you have to lube that thing up if you were? Or, I mean, it seems pretty slick.
I don't think he's swallowing swords or knives. I think they retract, dude. That would make the most sense.
It would, but it looks so real.
Yeah,
you
it
thought of
would
that?
because it could stay in there if you retract it.
People are pretty impressive when it comes to swallowing things.
How would you know?
And
I've
this-
heard.
and
I know
now
a guy.
is when we close down.
Yeah. Watch your lips, Burns.
This
I was
this
kind
is
of
when we put our tents away and we
I
go
was
home.
I mean I was referring
Mine
to
will come up
Camping's
when
over.
I get home.
a story about you where you messed up on the job. But apparently,
Yeah, like I said,
you've never had a job where you fucked up.
Well, he's not a surgeon.
It's not even have to be on purpose.
When I worked at UPS, I threw some boxes.
Have you ever been fired?
No. I voluntarily have quit every job I've had.
Have you ever been laid off or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got laid
That's a
off
common
at
thing.
Sherwin-Williams. I was like 19. And I get there, and like this is where the guy fucked up. And we employ people, but would you ever do this? The guy, I show up to work, I clock in, and I'm going to go put my apron on. It's like a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing he tells me is like, hey, we're going to have to lay off. This is going to be your last day. So, he's off. If you want to stay, you can stay and work your shift, or you can go home. And I just said, I just stood there, took my
You're like,
apron off,
I'm out.
clocked down. I was like,
Who's coming with me?
Actually, that is nice of him. Because most employers will wait
Make
till
you work
you work
your
your
shift
shift if you're
and then
working
let
through
you-
that Friday.
Well, you just gave him a 1 day. Oh no, they gave you.
he was letting me know, like,
okay.
hey, this is your last day. You can stay today if you want, or you can just go.
I gave a 2-week notice once, and the owner of the company was like, "Oh no, you can be done tomorrow or whatever." And I'm like, "Okay, you're paying me for 2 weeks, right?" No, I'm like, "No,
I'll
you're
see you
paying me."
tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell him.
No, I'm like, if I'll stop working tomorrow, but you legally in California, you have to pay for that 2 weeks if you give a 2-week notice, right?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think you do. I don't know.
I
They can
convinced
release
them-
you of your duties and then just and
Yeah,
if
but
you
then
give notice.
But then you can go back at them because they can't release you if you've given notice.
yes, they can.
Try it.
I have plenty of times. Yes, they can. No, if you give notice, there's no law that they have to keep you for that amount of notice. You're giving them a courtesy. So at that point, basically what you're doing is you're giving them a heads up that you're leaving in 2 weeks.
So you would rather people
They
tell
can
you the day
evaluate
of?
they can evaluate their department that you happen to be in and say, you know what? We really don't need this position for the next 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Let's start on the hiring process. Let's get rid of Burns.
Okay.
You do have to cut their last check, though.
Yeah, you have
For
to
the
cut their
2
last
weeks.
check within 24 hours.
the 2
No,
weeks.
it's
If
just
they quit,
vacation.
if
okay.
they quit,
Vacation or PTO, and
yes, that is correct.
that's it.
We're gonna look this up, but
Or
if
you can look it up
if
all you
it's
want.
not true, pretty good job convincing that guy that it was because he paid me for 2 weeks.
I mean, that's good for you.
Well, you probably had 2 weeks of vacation.
No, I had none. I took every day I could, and then some.
What job
Oh.
was this?
You know what? I'm glad you're not my employee.
Yeah, I would
Burns.
give you hell.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
What was the job?
It was in medical sales.
What were you selling?
Everything at that point, like a lot
Black
of-
market.
Hey,
kidneys?
when
Yeah, whatever I could.
Especially if a
I'd sell
salesman
child
gives you
if
2
I had
weeks
to.
notice. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna tell him the next day.
No, you cut him at notice.
Try and cut me.
You know what? That's
and
what
cut
you do
me, beat
because
it.
well, you don't want them going out knowing that you're leaving. You don't want them going to your customer base or their customer base and giving them the opportunity to have conversations of, hey, I'm going to be leaving so-and-so and I'm going to be going to this place. That's why you cut off ties, all electronics, anything that you have, key cards.
I've never been with a company that didn't honor that, so that's all.
No,
I'm
I
saying.
mean, typically, you know, I mostly honor them depending on the employee.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we haven't had to get rid of anybody in a very long time, so that's nice. But if it's a salesperson, I probably don't want them going out talking to the customers if I know they're leaving in 2
weren't
weeks.
they already?
Maybe,
I'm sure they were.
but
I'm
they're
sure
definitely
that-
going to now.
Yeah, and I'm sure they were.
So I would rather just cut it off.
Yeah. No, it makes sense from a business.
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 If there's too many
Business
S's, it's hard.
perspective.
Some business makes sense, but good luck trying to do that to me.
You're fired.
Dang it. It's been fun.
You've
guys.
been fired.
It's been. I just keep showing up. You can't get rid of me.
Yeah.
All my dicks and butts.
Mhm.
You
That,
can't
all
get
that
rid of it.
talk is
Yeah.
starting to really
There's
not enhance the numbers.
There's a
Burns.
box over there. This is getting weird.
All right.
It's because it's time to go.
Yeah, I agree. I got kids to pick up.
All right. Hey, follow us at @watcher_lips on Twitter and Instagram. At @watcherlips on TikTok. And,
Follow,
if you're
follow
listening,
Kevin, and follow Jeff,
Yeah.
and follow me,
And follow us.
and the
and
podcast.
follow the journey.
And subscribe and download and 5 stars. Just start
iTunes.
doing it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
I don't know
Do it
why you
already.
guys come back and listen and don't
And don't
Do
do
it.
the shit.
and engage
And Julie.
and subscribe.
Describe.
Julie-
Julie's hat is here that
And
Jake's going to
Julie-
take to her.
We're all
And
signed.
It was her
Julie
birthday.
had a birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Birthday, Julie.
Happy birthday.
We have a hat for you
Oh,
that
it's
you
signed.
purchased
Signed
for your
by
birthday.
us.
No, don't ruin her hat.
We'll do it underneath the bill.
No,
Okay.
it's not ruined.
We'll do
Happy
it.
birthday.
We'll do it with invisible.
Here's one concept idea. Jeff and I are talking about getting you were there, phone for messages.
Yes.
Yes. We could call, text.
And leave us messages
Interact.
and tell us what you think of shit. Because we can't get everybody on the phone, but we can hear your messages. So look out for that possibly. Yeah. That's it. Sorry.
No, I'm fine. Walk through that.